How much of your frustration, anxiety, or rage has ever come from things you couldn't control? A careless comment, ill rejection, a plan that fell apart. Every time you react, you curse, you lash out, or you shut down. But here's the hard truth. The world didn't make you angry. You did. You handed over your peace to something outside yourself. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. They understood that no insult, no betrayal, no unfair event can disturb your mind unless you allow it. Anger is self-inflicted poison. It doesn't just wound others, it devours you. It clouds judgment, weakens discipline, and makes you a slave to impulse. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." That's not just philosophy, that's survival. Because every time you lose your temper, you lose your power. The moment you take back control over your reactions, you take back control over your life. From now on, you stop blaming and start mastering yourself. This is the Stoic way, and it's going to be your way. Anger is seductive. It gives you the illusion of power, a false sense that you're standing up for yourself. But in reality, it's the fire that burns you first. Every time you explode, you lose clarity. You say things you regret, make decisions you can't undo, and waste hours replaying moments that don't deserve your energy. The Stoics called this self-destruction, voluntary suffering. You're not just reacting to the world, you're feeding the very force that controls you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But what do most people do? They try to control everything except themselves. They fight traffic, argue with fools, get triggered by opinions, and wonder why they feel empty afterward. The truth is brutal. Anger is the emotion of the powerless. Calm is the weapon of the strong. If you can remain composed when everything around you is chaos, you are already winning. The man who controls his mind controls his fate. Remember this, your peace is your responsibility. And every time you lose it, you gave it away voluntarily. Most people waste their entire lives trying to control the uncontrollable. Other people's behavior, the weather, outcomes, opinions, even fate itself. It's madness disguised as effort. The Stoics warned us that this obsession is the root of human misery. You suffer not because life is cruel, but because you resist what is. Every time you argue with reality, you lose. When someone insults you, your ego screams for revenge. When plans collapse, your mind rebels against what's already done. But rebellion against reality is the ultimate weakness. Epictetus taught, some things are up to us, and some are not. Until you separate those two, you'll stay trapped in frustration. You can't stop the waves, but you can master the way you stand in the storm. True power isn't about forcing the world to obey you. It's about commanding yourself when it doesn't. The next time something goes wrong, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What can I control right now?" That question is the doorway to strength. Everything else, let it burn away. The event itself is never the problem. It's the story you attach to it that destroys your peace. Someone cuts you off in traffic, ignores your message, or disrespects you, and instantly your mind starts spinning. They don't respect me. People are selfish. Life's unfair. That's not truth. That's narrative, Seneca said. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. And he was right. Your suffering doesn't come from the event. It comes from your interpretation of it. You choose the meaning, and then you suffer from your own choice. So here's your task. Start questioning your first thought. When you feel anger rise, ask yourself, is this what really happened? Or is this just the story I'm telling myself? Most of the time, you'll realize it's just ego painting fiction. Detach from the story and return to the fact. Something happened, nothing more. That's where freedom begins. Because when you stop giving meaning to meaningless events, you stop being controlled by them. You reclaim the space in your mind where peace lives. Anger is fast. Wisdom is slow. The moment something irritates you, your instinct is to react, to defend, to prove, to strike back. But every reaction made in anger costs you something. Your dignity, your composure, your control, Seneca warned. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. That's because in the pause lies your power. Between what happens and how you respond, there is a sacred gap. And in that gap, your freedom lives. When you learn to pause, you disarm the fire before it spreads. Next time someone provokes you, don't rush to speak. Take 1 deep breath, 2 if needed, 3 if you must. Breathe until the storm passes. In that silence, you'll feel your strength returning. The fool reacts instantly. The master observes, then decides. Remember, every angry word you don't say, Every reaction you delay is a victory over yourself. Control isn't about suppressing emotion, it's about mastering timing. You're not weak for pausing. You're wise for refusing to be ruled by impulse. You keep getting angry because you keep expecting people to be better than they are. You expect loyalty from the disloyal, honesty from the dishonest, maturity from the childish. But the Stoics never made that mistake. Marcus Aurelius began each day reminding himself, I will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. He wasn't being cynical. He was being prepared. If you walk into the world expecting virtue, you'll be disappointed daily. But if you expect imperfection, you'll never be shocked again. The truth is, people act according to their nature, not yours. So when someone lies, betrays, or insults you, don't be surprised. Don't be wounded. Simply say, they're being who they are. You don't have to like it. You just have to stop being controlled by it. When you accept human weakness as part of the world, you become unshakable. The ignorant scream, the wise anticipate. Don't waste energy being outraged by human nature. Study it, expect it, and rise above it. When someone lashes out, insults you, or tries to drag you down, remember this. Their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. Epictetus said, if someone speaks ill of you, remember they do so because they believe it right. In other words, their actions are shaped by their ignorance, not your worth. Most people are ruled by their own chaos, envy, fear, insecurity, and they project that chaos onto others. So when you take it personally, you're volunteering to carry their poison. Don't let their words fall like stones against steel. You are not obligated to absorb their noise. The Stoic response is simple. That belongs to them, not me. When you master this, no insult, no criticism, no disrespect can pierce your mind. You become a mirror that reflects calm instead of chaos. Don't waste your peace trying to correct fools. Their rage is their punishment. Your silence is your strength. Remember, you don't need to prove you're calm. Your calm proves your power. Imagine someone hands you a burning coal. Would you grab it? Of course not. Yet when someone insults you, you take their words, hold them close, and let them burn you inside. Why? Because you haven't yet realized the truth. Insults only live when you give them oxygen. Marcus Aurelius said, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Their words are nothing but air until you agree to make them real. The next time someone attacks you, picture their insult as smoke. It vanishes the moment you stop breathing it in. Say nothing. React to nothing. Silence is the highest form of defense. It unsettles the weak because they want control over your reaction. When you deny it, you win without a fight. Understand this. No one can touch your peace without your consent. So when fools throw words like stones, stand still. Let them fall. You lose nothing by walking away, but you lose everything by engaging. You think holding on to anger punishes the other person, but it only poisons you. Seneca warned, anger, if not restrained, is often more harmful to us than the injury that provokes it. Every time you replay what they said or did, you relive the wound and stab yourself again. The event happened once, but you keep resurrecting it through memory. That's not strength, that's self-sabotage. Anger is a burning coal. The longer you grip it, the deeper it sears your peace. Let it go. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When you let go, you rise. You protect your clarity, your dignity, your energy. Remember this. Refusing to drop anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. So ask yourself, why suffer twice? The first wound was their doing. The second is yours. Don't carry what's already gone. Drop it. Walk free. Letting go isn't weakness. It's command over your emotions. Most people cling to grudges like trophies of pain, repeating the story to anyone who will listen, thinking it makes them righteous. But Stoic strength isn't in remembering who hurt you. It's in refusing to let them live rent-free in your mind. When you let go quickly, you're not pretending it didn't matter. You're declaring that your peace matters more. The Stoics practiced immediate release, not because they didn't feel anger, but because they refused to be ruled by it. You can do the same. The moment you feel resentment rise, name it, I'm holding this. Then command yourself, drop it now. Visualize it falling from your grip, burning away before it reaches your heart. The more you practice, the lighter you become. Your energy returns, your clarity sharpens. Remember, You can't move forward carrying dead weight. Letting go is how warriors stay fast, focused, and free. Peace isn't passive, it's disciplined detachment. Every time you get angry, life is trying to teach you something, but most people are too busy reacting to listen. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The Stoics saw every obstacle as a lesson disguised as pain. When you're frustrated, ask, what is this moment training me for? Patience, humility, emotional control, because anger always exposes a weakness. Maybe it's your pride. Maybe it's your need for validation. Maybe it's your obsession with being right. Whatever it is, the trigger is your teacher. Stop wasting energy wishing for easy days. The harder the challenge, the sharper your character becomes. Just like iron only strengthens through fire, your discipline only deepens through discomfort. So don't curse the difficulty. Use it. Ask, what is this moment revealing about me? Growth begins the second you stop blaming the world and start learning from it. Every trial is training. Every reaction is a mirror. You can't build mental toughness in comfort. You grow it in fire. Every insult, delay, and disappointment is resistance training for your mind. The weak see problems as punishment. The disciplined see them as practice. Seneca said, "Difficulty strengthens the mind as labor strengthens the body." You don't build patience when life goes your way. You build it when everything falls apart and you stay composed. You don't build resilience in silence. You build it when people doubt you, betray you, or misunderstand you, and you keep moving anyway. That's Stoic strength. Calm persistence under pressure. The next time anger rises, ask, what skill is life training in me right now? Maybe it's detachment. Maybe it's endurance. Maybe it's humility. Whatever it is, lean into it. The Stoics didn't pray for comfort. They trained for chaos. Every setback is a gym for your spirit. Every obstacle is your coach. The more resistance you face, the stronger your inner calm becomes. Don't run from pain. Refine yourself through it. When something blocks your path, most people complain, collapse, or curse their luck. But the Stoics turned every obstacle into fuel. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Think about that. The very thing you think is stopping you is the thing designed to shape you. The betrayal that crushed you taught you discernment. The failure that humiliated you taught you discipline. The setback that slowed you down taught you patience. Nothing is wasted if you choose to see the lesson. But here's the catch. You can't learn if you're angry. Anger blinds you. It makes you miss the gold hidden inside hardship. So, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this building in me? Shift from reaction to reflection. The Stoic warrior doesn't avoid difficulty. He absorbs it, studies it, and uses it as training. Every problem you face is a doorway. Walk through it with calm, or stay stuck outside in bitterness. The choice is always yours. You get angry because you secretly believe life should be fair. People should be kind, and everything should go according to plan. That's your biggest illusion. The Stoics crushed that fantasy early. They accepted that life is hard. People are flawed, and the world owes you nothing. Seneca said, "He who expects misfortune rejoices when it does not occur." In other words, prepare for chaos, then peace becomes a bonus. When you demand comfort, every challenge feels like an attack. When you expect difficulty, every victory feels earned. Stop waiting for smooth seas. Build yourself to sail through storms. Life will test you, betray you, exhaust you, and still keep going. So what? Your job is not to complain, it's to endure. The man who demands ease becomes weak. The one who expects hardship becomes unbreakable. So, the next time something goes wrong, don't whine, don't rage. Nod quietly and say, "Of course." That's the voice of someone who's trained, not fooled. The real battle isn't with the world, it's with the voice inside your head. That voice that exaggerates, complains, and turns small inconveniences into full-blown tragedies. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." That means it's not reality tormenting you, it's your interpretation. The insult isn't killing you, your replay of it is. The delay isn't ruining your day, your story about it is. If you want peace, you must master that voice. When your mind starts spiraling, "This isn't fair. I don't deserve this. Why me?" Stop. Interrupt the pattern. Replace those words with truth. "This is life. I can handle it." That's how Stoics rewire their thoughts, by cutting emotional fiction and replacing it with rational clarity. You are not your thoughts, you are their commander, So speak to yourself like a warrior, not a victim, because the tone of your inner voice decides whether you crumble or conquer. Your mind is either your strongest ally or your worst enemy. Leave it undisciplined, and it will turn against you. It will replay insults, magnify problems, and convince you that you're powerless. But train it, and it becomes unshakable. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology did. They knew your thoughts become emotions, and your emotions become actions. So if you master the first step, you control the rest. When anger rises, catch the first thought before it multiplies. Tell yourself, this is just a judgment, not truth. Then replace it with something that strengthens you. I decide what this means. I choose calm. Every time you do this, you rewire your brain for control instead of chaos. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations for others. He wrote them to discipline his mind. You should do the same. Journal, reflect, command your inner dialogue. If you don't control your thoughts, they'll control you. And that's how you lose the war before it starts. Anger doesn't start as an explosion. It starts as a whisper. One thought, one judgment, they disrespected me. This isn't fair. I shouldn't have to deal with this. That's how it begins. Catch it there, or it will consume you. Seneca said, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. But delay isn't just about time. It's about interception. The moment that first thought appears, confront it, ask yourself, is this fact or interpretation? You'll realize most of your fury is built on imagination, not truth. When you stop feeding that first spark, the fire dies before it spreads. Anger only wins when you give it attention. Refuse to engage, and it has nowhere to live. You don't owe your emotions an audience. You owe yourself peace. Remember this. Emotional mastery is not about feeling nothing. It's about stopping small thoughts from turning into storms. A disciplined mind doesn't get hijacked by emotion. It observes, decides, and commands. That's real strength. Words shape emotion. The language you use in your own head can either strengthen you or destroy you. Most people speak to themselves like enemies. I can't believe this happened. People always treat me like this. I'm tired of being disrespected. That kind of talk programs your brain for weakness. The Stoics did the opposite. They spoke with command and clarity. When faced with chaos, they said, it is what it is. Now, what must I do? That's discipline. Change your inner language, and you'll change your inner state. Start using words of power, calm, control, acceptance, strength. Stop dramatizing your pain. Describe things as they are, not worse than they are. The mind listens to the words you choose. Feed it neutrality, not noise. If you keep repeating your anger, you reinforce it. If you speak peace, you build it. So audit your inner dialogue daily. Talk to yourself like a strategist, not a victim. Command your thoughts, and emotion will kneel. You can't lead others until you learn to lead yourself. And leadership starts in your inner dialogue. When something goes wrong, do you panic, complain, or curse your luck? That's how losers talk. A Stoic doesn't waste breath on pity. He speaks with command. The words in your head must sound like orders, not excuses. Hold the line. Stay calm. Respond with reason. Those aren't just phrases. They're mental armor. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. So, start mastering your mind like a soldier disciplines his movements. When you speak to yourself with strength, your body follows, your emotions obey. Weak language creates weak responses. Replace why me with let's deal with it. Replace this is too much with I can handle worse. Because every word you speak internally is a command your nervous system executes. Stop talking like a victim. Start speaking like someone who refuses to break. That's Stoic leadership. Silent, firm, and unshakable. The difference between ordinary people and the disciplined is simple. Reaction time. The average person reacts in seconds. The Stoic pauses, breathes, and then acts with precision. Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. That space is everything. Most people waste years because they never build it. They speak too fast, strike too soon, regret too late. But when you master the pause, you master yourself. The next time someone provokes you, don't respond. Breathe. Count to 3. Remind yourself, their chaos is not my cue. That's control. Anger demands immediacy. Discipline delays it. And in that delay, your power returns. A Stoic warrior is never impulsive. He is deliberate. He observes. He decides, and then he moves. Calm. Precise. Unstoppable. Start small. Pause before replying to a message. Before arguing, before reacting. Every pause builds the muscle of command. And one day, when chaos erupts, you'll respond with silence, and that silence will terrify the undisciplined. The weak argue to be seen. The strong stay silent to stay in control. When you respond instantly to every insult or irritation, you hand over your peace like currency. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best answer to anger is silence, because silence isn't surrender, it's strategy." It shows you're not owned by emotion. Every time you resist the urge to explain, defend, or retaliate, you win a private war inside yourself. Let fools burn in their own noise. You stay cold, composed, and observant. Anger feeds on attention, so starve it. Don't give people the reaction they expect. The moment you remain calm, they lose power. The world will always provoke you, but your silence will become a fortress they can't penetrate. Learn to say less. Learn to move slower. Learn to speak only when your words carry intention. Control your tongue, and you control your destiny. Because nothing exposes weakness faster than losing composure, and nothing radiates strength louder than silence. When chaos hits, most people react like civilians, is emotional, untrained, sloppy. A Stoic reacts like a soldier, alert, calm, and controlled. The enemy here isn't the world, it's your reflexes. Every emotional outburst is proof that you haven't mastered yourself yet. Epictetus taught, "No man is free unless he is master of himself." Freedom isn't about doing whatever you feel. It's about having the power to choose what you don't feel. The moment something triggers you, your first mission is not to win the argument or fix the situation. It's to hold the line inside your own head. Breathe, assess, respond strategically. Not every battle deserves your sword. Some require restraint, not retaliation. The world is testing you constantly to see if you can remain disciplined when provoked. Each time you respond with control, you're sharpening your mental blade. Each time you explode, you dull it. So treat your emotions like a weapon. Keep it sheathed until wisdom says, now, your greatest opponent isn't the person who offends you. It's the instant impulse that rises inside you. That surge of emotion that screams, react now. That's the real enemy. Anger is fast, but mastery is slow. The Stoics didn't kill emotion. They trained it. They turned reaction into reflection, instinct into intention. You must do the same. Every time you feel that heat rising, imagine a soldier in your mind shouting, hold the line, because if you don't, emotion will ambush your reason. You'll speak before you think, act before you plan, and regret before you sleep. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you always own the option of having no opinion. That's a superpower, to feel provoked and still say, not today. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to fight every fool. Self-control is not about suppressing rage. It's about commanding it. Impulse is chaos. Discipline is order. And the warrior who chooses order, every time, becomes untouchable. Your first reaction is instinct. Your second reaction is choice. Most people never make it to the second. They let their first reaction, anger, pride, ego, run their life. But the Stoic mind waits for the second reaction. The gap between the two is where strength lives. The first reaction screams, they disrespected me. The second whispers, so what? I still control myself. The first wants revenge. The second wants mastery. The first destroys peace. The second protects it. The weak obey their first impulse because it feels real, raw, justified. But you are not weak. You are training to be unmoved. So next time you feel that surge, pause, let the first reaction die quietly, and wait for the second to emerge. That's where your wisdom speaks. That's where your power begins. The Stoics knew anyone can feel anger, but only the disciplined can pause long enough to choose peace. Control your second reaction, and you control your entire life. Most people live like actors trapped in a play they didn't write, reacting to every insult, every tone, every opinion. The Stoic steps off the stage. He watches the chaos unfold, but he doesn't join the performance. Marcus Aurelius said, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. That's not denial, it's control. The moment you detach, everything loses its power over you. When someone yells, you observe their lack of discipline. When life throws obstacles, you see opportunity, not tragedy. Detachment isn't apathy, it's strength. It's seeing things as they are, not as your ego paints them. The world expects you to react, to defend, to fight. But when you stay calm and say nothing, you become unpredictable, untouchable. Your energy stops being tossed around by external noise. You reclaim command over your emotions, learn to rise above the play, watch the chaos, but never join it. Because the one who doesn't react rules the scene. Stoic detachment isn't about becoming cold or emotionless. It's about seeing clearly without being consumed. You can still care deeply, but you don't crumble when things go wrong. You can still love fiercely, but you don't lose yourself when people disappoint you. Detachment means you stop letting external events dictate your internal state. You act with reason, not reaction. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Every time you attach your peace to other people's actions, you hand them control over your mind. Detachment takes that control back. It's not about indifference, it's about independence. You can feel emotion, but you're not ruled by it. You can engage with life, but you're not enslaved by it. Detachment makes you stable in chaos, focused in noise, and calm under pressure. Don't withdraw from life, just refuse to drown in it. Feel deeply, but stand firmly. That's the Stoic balance, passion without possession. Most people carry strangers inside their minds, critics, enemies, exes, old bosses, people who said something once and are still renting space in their thoughts. That's slavery. Epictetus said, "If someone can anger you, they have become your master." Every time you replay an argument or a betrayal, you're giving someone else the keys to your mind. You think you're thinking, but you're just reliving chains. The Stoic frees himself by evicting everyone who doesn't belong in his inner world. When the past calls, don't answer. When the insult echoes, stay silent. When someone tries to provoke you, remember, they only succeed if you participate. You can't control their words, but you can control what you host. Protect your mental space like a fortress. Let no one enter without purpose. The calm mind is not empty, it's guarded. The less you think about others, the more energy you have to build yourself. Stop renting out your peace. Own it completely. You cannot live in peace if you let everyone walk through your mind unchecked. Boundaries aren't selfish, they are sacred. A Stoic doesn't hate the world, but he refuses to be devoured by it. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That means your responsibility is to protect that power at all costs. When someone constantly drains you, step back. When conversations turn toxic, walk away. When environments disturb your focus, leave. You don't owe your time or attention to anyone who threatens your stability. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They separate what strengthens you from what weakens you. The disciplined man knows when to engage and when to exit. Don't be afraid to say no. Say it calmly, without explanation. Weak men fear disappointing others. Strong men fear losing their peace. And every time you protect your energy, you reinforce your freedom. Your mind is a temple. Guard the door like a warrior. Your attention is your currency. Spend it carelessly, and you'll stay broke forever. Every scroll, every argument, every distraction steals a piece of your focus. And once your focus is gone, your power is gone. The Stoics lived like minimalists of the mind. They didn't chase noise. They guarded their attention like treasure. Marcus Aurelius didn't waste his days on gossip or trivial matters. He trained his thoughts like a soldier sharpens his sword. Ask yourself, where does your energy go each day? Into growth or into reaction? Into mastery or into drama? Whatever you feed grows. So stop feeding nonsense. Silence your phone. Walk away from empty conversations. Don't let the world dictate what deserves your focus. Decide it yourself. The modern world wants you distracted, emotional, and reactive. Be the opposite. Calm, deliberate, and rare. Protect your mental energy like gold because that's what it is. The fuel that builds your empire of peace. Awareness is power, but reaction is weakness. You see everything, the rudeness, the unfairness, the lies, but that doesn't mean you must respond. The Stoic observes without taking the bait. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you don't have to have an opinion on everything. That's not indifference, that's intelligence. The fool believes every disturbance requires his participation. The wise man knows most things solve themselves if left alone. You can notice disrespect without feeling disrespected. You can witness chaos without becoming chaotic. The moment you react to everything you see, you become a puppet of external forces. But when you watch calmly, unmoved, you reclaim power. Restraint is not inaction, it's strategy. Every response you don't give is a victory of discipline over ego. Stop being addicted to reaction. Let the small things pass. they're not worth your peace. Remember, not responding isn't weakness. It's dominance in disguise. The world shouts, you stay silent and win. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is emotional. Response is intentional. Most people live as reactors. They move only when provoked, speak only when angered, act only when pressured. But the Stoic moves from principle, not emotion. Every decision comes from reason, not impulse. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Delay doesn't mean avoidance. It means deliberate thought. When something upsets you, don't react immediately. Sit with it. Let the emotion cool so wisdom can surface. Ask yourself, what's the most effective thing I can do here? Not the most dramatic, not the most satisfying, the most effective. The Stoic mind calculates. It doesn't combust. Emotional people spend energy on reaction. Disciplined people channel that same energy into control. A sharp mind stays still under fire. Remember, the longer you can hold still, the clearer you'll see. And when you see clearly, you always act correctly. Discipline begins when emotion ends. Anger thrives on speed. Wisdom thrives on patience. The moment you slow down, when the storm loses its grip, anger wants you impulsive, loud, irrational, because that's how it wins. It wants to pull you into chaos before you can think. The Stoic understands this and refuses to give anger a home. He delays. He breathes. He lets time do the heavy lifting. Seneca said, "Time heals what reason cannot." Often, you don't need to act. You just need to wait. Time dissolves illusions, exposes truth, and restores clarity. When you rush, you act blind. When you pause, you see the battlefield. Patience is a weapon the impulsive will never understand. Every time you delay a reaction, you regain strength. Every minute of calm is a strike against chaos. The undisciplined crave instant satisfaction. The wise play the long game. Your power multiplies in silence. Use it. Control doesn't mean suppression. It means transformation. You can't eliminate emotion, but you can redirect it. The Stoics didn't deny anger. They refined it. They turned rage into resolve, pain into focus, adversity into strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle on the path becomes the path." The next time anger flares, ask, how can I use this? If someone disrespects you, use it to sharpen composure. If you fail, use it to deepen discipline. Every fire inside you can either burn you or forge you. You decide which. The untrained man vents emotion outward, blaming, shouting, reacting. The disciplined man channels it inward, training, thinking, executing. Anger is raw energy. When controlled, it becomes fuel. When uncontrolled, it becomes destruction. Master this transformation, and you'll turn every insult into growth, every obstacle into momentum. The Stoic doesn't waste emotional energy. He converts it into mastery. The weak scream, the wise build. Anger is easy. It's lazy. It's the default of the undisciplined. Calm is difficult because it requires strength. Every time you choose composure, you prove dominance over yourself. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. The fool reacts and becomes the thing he hates." The Stoic remains calm and becomes what others can't reach. When someone attacks your peace, they're testing your discipline. Let them fail. Do not give them the satisfaction of watching you lose control. Stay silent, stay still, stay untouchable. Because your calm isn't weakness, it's armor. The loudest person in the room always loses power first. The quiet one studies, plans, and strikes only when necessary. Rage is noisy and blind. Calm is sharp and surgical. Master calm, and the world can no longer provoke you, only reveal itself. That's power. That's Stoicism. You are tested most when you think you've mastered yourself. That's when the real examination begins. Life will send new challenges just to see if your discipline was real or performative. It will poke your ego, disrupt your plans, provoke your emotions, and if you fall for it, you start over. Marcus Aurelius said, "When jarred, unavoidably, by circumstance, revert at once to yourself, and don't lose the rhythm more than you must." That's your reset button. Revert to yourself. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness. The second you slip, catch it. Don't spiral. Don't justify. Just return to calm. Stoicism isn't about never falling, it's about never staying down. Life will keep testing your composure until it's unshakable. The more chaos you endure without reacting, the stronger your foundation becomes. Every test is proof that you're ready for the next level. Don't resist the test. Use it to prove that your peace is real. Mastery isn't built in peace, it's built in pressure. Pressure doesn't expose weakness, it builds endurance. Seneca said, "Fire tests gold. Adversity tests brave men. Every insult, betrayal, or setback is a forge for your mind. The heat feels unbearable, but that's where character hardens." The Stoic doesn't curse the flame, he thanks it. Because without it, he'd never see his strength. Life won't get easier. You'll just get stronger. The only thing that changes is your threshold. What broke you before will become training tomorrow. Every painful experience is just a weight added to your mental gym. You either grow under it or crumble beneath it. And every time you choose calm under chaos, you increase your capacity. The untrained run from pressure, the disciplined breathe through it. The stronger your endurance, the lighter life feels. That's Stoic mastery, not the absence of hardship, but the ability to remain peaceful inside it. A disciplined mind doesn't chase peace, it creates it. Peace isn't found in quiet rooms or perfect mornings. It's forged in chaos, built under tension, earned through restraint. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." You carry peace inside you, but most people bury it under reaction. They think peace is something they'll feel after life calms down. But the Stoic knows peace is built while life is storming. It's a state of control, not convenience. You create it by refusing to let circumstances own your mind. Start seeing every irritation as a chance to practice calm, every delay as a test of patience, every insult as a workout for your self-control. Build peace like a muscle, through repetition. The world won't slow down for you, so you must learn to stay still while everything else spins. When you do, you'll realize peace was never missing. It was always waiting for you to claim it. Freedom isn't the absence of chaos, it's sovereignty within it. Everyone talks about wanting freedom, but few understand what it demands. True freedom isn't doing whatever you feel, it's being immune to what would normally control you. Anger controls the weak. Impulse controls the distracted. Emotion controls the undisciplined. The Stoic is free because he governs himself. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That means your freedom isn't given, it's earned through mastery. The freer your mind, the less anything can enslave you. Not insults, not failure, not praise, not loss. The moment you can stay calm while everything falls apart, you've achieved real freedom. You're no longer a prisoner of outcomes. You're untouchable. That's the ultimate Stoic victory, to own yourself completely. Even when the world tries to own you, anger makes you forget who you are. Calm brings you back. Discipline only matters when it's tested. Anyone can stay composed when life feels fair. The true test comes when it's not. When the deal falls through. When you're betrayed. When exhaustion whispers, "Quit." That's where warriors are made. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is endurable, then endure it." Stop complaining. This is the point most people break. They think pain means stop. For the Stoic, pain means prove it. Hold the line when your body wants rest and your mind wants revenge. That's the moment your training speaks for you. You can't claim strength until you've walked through the fire without losing your balance. Endurance isn't glamorous, it's quiet, lonely, repetitive, but it's where character hardens. Every second you resist collapse, you evolve. The weak seek comfort, the strong hold the line. When life pushes, don't flinch. When it mocks you, don't speak. Stay firm, breathe steady, and remind yourself, this is not punishment, this is preparation. Complaining is emotional leakage. It's what the undisciplined do when they can't process pressure. But every complaint you voice makes you weaker. It reinforces the belief that you're powerless. The Stoics had no tolerance for that mindset. Epictetus said, "Do not explain your philosophy, embody it." That means stop talking about resilience, demonstrate it. Pain doesn't need your commentary. Endure it in silence, with posture and presence. When you stop complaining, something powerful happens. Your mind reclaims control. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start being a master of endurance. The world doesn't care how tired you are. The storm won't pause because you're frustrated, but your calm will outlast them both. When you face hardship, don't announce it, absorb it, transform it, use it. The silent man who endures becomes terrifying to those who rely on reaction. Remember, every time you choose silence over complaint, your spirit grows harder, sharper, and freer. The Stoic warrior isn't passive, he's dangerous. But disciplined, his power is in control, not chaos. The weak mistake calm for softness. but calm is containment, the ability to hold fire without letting it spill. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Calm isn't about peace, it's about precision. You train your strength until it's silent. You sharpen your mind until it's unreactive. You stay dangerous but never reckless. When provoked, you could strike, but you don't need to. The world respects the man who can destroy but chooses not to. That's real authority. Rage burns fast. Discipline lasts. When you remain calm in conflict, you confuse the weak and inspire the strong. Remember this. Control doesn't mean softness. It means supremacy over self. Be the storm contained inside the man. Quiet, steady, and lethal when necessary. That's Stoic composure. Power under total restraint. The real war isn't out there. It's inside you. The world will test you with insults, pressure, and chaos. But the true enemy is the voice that reacts without thought. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That's the battlefield. The gap between what happens and how you interpret it. Most people lose that war daily because they let emotion storm the gates. The Stoic wins by securing the fortress of the mind. You can't stop the noise of the world, but you can stop it from echoing inside you. Every insult is an invitation to chaos. Every delay, every disappointment, every betrayal, all of it asks the same question. Will you react or will you command? The moment you rule your inner battlefield, the outer world can't touch you. No insult can pierce you. No failure can shake you. The war ends when your mind obeys you completely. When everyone else panics, your calm becomes a blade. The Stoics mastered stillness not as an escape, but as an offensive strategy in chaos. Calm minds see clearly, and clarity wins wars. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." That includes composure. It's built slowly, through countless moments where you could have lost control but didn't. When the crowd shouts, you breathe. When emotions surge, you observe. When pressure mounts, you slow down. That's not weakness, that's warfare. Calmness cuts sharper than rage because it never misses. It's precision under pressure. Focus under fire. You can't intimidate a man who's not reactive. You can't manipulate someone who stays grounded. That's why calm is dangerous. It removes your enemy's leverage. Everyone loses their mind eventually. The Stoic never does. He holds the line, studies the field, and acts only when necessary. Remember, chaos exposes amateurs, but calm reveals professionals. Be that and controlled, centered, unshakable, every day. The world tries to drag you into emotional reaction. News, noise, gossip, distraction. It's a constant test of your equilibrium. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you let the world paint your mind with chaos, don't be surprised when your peace fades. The Stoic lives differently. He moves through noise like a man walking through fire. Untouched, deliberate, unmoved. You can't control the storm, but you can refuse to be swept by it. That's balance. When people overreact, you breathe slower. When they panic, you simplify. When they hate, you stay neutral. Your steadiness is your superiority. Don't let temporary emotions from others become permanent scars in you. Hold your ground. Keep your center. Let the world spin. You stay rooted. Because the man who can't be moved by the external world becomes master of the internal one. Balance isn't found, it's built, one reaction at a time. Most people exist in fragments, half in the past, half in the future, rarely ever here. That's why they're restless, anxious, and angry. The Stoic lives in the present, fully by fiercely, consciously, Seneca said. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And he was right. Most of your pain isn't happening now. It's happening in your mind. You're replaying old wounds or forecasting problems that don't exist yet. The present moment, however, is always calm because it's real. The Stoic trains himself to return there instantly. When chaos hits, he grounds himself in breath. When the mind races, he anchors to action. The moment you return to now, you take back your power. Nothing can disturb the man who lives fully in the moment before him. Presence is not meditation, it's mastery. It's choosing to face reality without distortion. When you stop fighting time, peace finds you. And when you live here, right now, you're untouchable. The past is a ghost. The future is a fog. The only place you can fight, think, or change anything is now. Marcus Aurelius said, confine yourself to the present. That wasn't poetry, it was survival strategy. The mind that drifts too far backward drowns in regret. The one that races ahead chokes on anxiety. But the mind anchored in the moment is unbreakable. Every second spent in worry or replay is stolen from your strength. The Stoic stands firmly in the now because this moment is the only battlefield where power exists. When you feel anger about what was or fear about what might be, return to what is. Ask yourself, what's real right now? What can I control in this breath, in this minute? You'll find that reality is rarely unbearable. It's your imagination that tortures you. Train your mind to return to the present like a soldier returning to base. Here, no ghosts live. Here, no fears survive. Only clarity, only control. The Stoics understood something few ever grasp. Reality itself is not good or bad. It simply is. Your mind paints it with color, and that judgment becomes your joy or your suffering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." That's ultimate freedom. When you stop labeling every event as tragedy or blessing, you start seeing it as training. The breakup, the loss, the delay, all neutral until you assign meaning. And that meaning is your choice. You can call it ruin, or you can call it refinement. The world doesn't owe you comfort. It offers raw material. You decide what to build. Most people collapse under their stories. The Stoic edits his. Change your interpretation, and you change your entire life. Reality is neutral, but your perception is power. Discipline your mind to see clearly, and nothing will ever truly hurt you again. This is where all the lessons converge. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Expect flaws. Pause before reacting, and speak to yourself like a warrior, not a victim. Let go quickly, endure quietly. Stay calm under fire. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they all said the same thing in different words. Master yourself, or the world will master you. Anger, fear, frustration. They only win when you agree to fight on their terms. But when you choose discipline, silence, and presence, you stop being a puppet of circumstance. You become a commander of reality. The Stoic path is not soft. It's savage in its demand for control. It requires daily confrontation with ego and emotion. But on the other side of that, war is unshakable peace. The kind no insult can pierce. No failure can shatter. No chaos can corrupt. Live like this, and you no longer chase calm. You are calm, untouchable, unmoved, free. That's the ultimate victory. Sovereignty over self. Before you scroll away, take a second to look inward. Don't just listen to these words. Live them. The real change begins the moment you stop running from discomfort and start mastering it. Discipline isn't built in comfort. It's forged every time you choose control over chaos, silence over reaction, and growth over ego. So from this moment forward, commit to being the one who acts, not just understands. Don't just quote the Stoics, become one. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me the one truth from this video you're taking with you today. I read every single one, and if this message hit you deep, share it with someone who needs it right now. Thanks for watching, and remember, this is Momentum Mindset. Stay sharp, stay calm, stay unstoppable.